Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today it's time for another episode of our one duplicant challenge here with Nathan, our most trusted duplicant in this colony. In between the episodes, as announced, I did some research, so today we should be able to get started with the EXOSUITS, and that is also gonna require a little bit more power, so I'm gonna switch from the manual generator to a coal power system. That means in the future we want to track our coal, because we will be using that up, and we want to keep a close eye on it. Something else, as you can see, I dug out some more, primarily to get some food, but also to get better awareness of what's left and right of us. Something else I would like to take care of is the polluted oxygen in the basement. We are already accumulating quite a bit of slime here, so what we can do is also set up a bunch of deodorizers here. And of course, to do so, we'll have to drag a power cable down. We're gonna need some more power further down, so I think I'm gonna set up a second deodorizer there. We still need to do a little bit of research in order to get to the one we actually want, the hazard protection. And maybe before we dive into that, I would like to get access to polluted water, and it should be a little bit nearby. So I'm kind of thinking of going this way and then add a pump here. We can add the pitcher pump like so, add a set of ladders, and then maybe we should dig out some more. I might want to keep this for a nature reserve, but yeah, it might be in our best interest to make this pool slightly larger, like this. I moved my oxygen setup a little bit further down so I could work on the left side of the base without actually having to use it. Something else I need to tell you about is I did set a couple of plants to auto harvest. They are gonna provide me with a little bit of food, and I'm also digging my way towards a bunch of plants to do just that. You know, have a little bit of a natural reserve of food. This way we are not gonna use any resources or manual labor for the upkeep. But I would like this reed fiber here to grow constantly in order to supply me the reed fiber necessary for my atmosuit repair. In preparation for the exosuits, I'm already gonna lower this platform a little bit, and I'm also gonna expand it. We need a tiny bit more space. Actually, let's bring it down to the next level where it would be regularly if we continued our flooring pattern spaced by 4 blocks. Ah yeah, once again, every now and then we just gotta clean the toilet. It has to be done, Nathan. As a matter of fact, if we go with atmosuit docks, we should probably make some more space in order to set up a liquid lock. Now that I think about it, this is not such a bad idea. So according to my calculations, we would require approximately this space. This would be my new way up and down. This gives us enough space for a checkpoint, 2 atmosuits and a liquid lock. Never mind, I miscalculated. We need one more block. I totally forgot. We need to spend some skill points. We should go into improved strength, for instance. Or improved tinkering would also be useful. Super duper hard digging though would also be useful. Let's do improved strength and super duper hard digging, so this is out of the way. And then we're gonna keep that one skill point in case something comes up that we need immediately. Ah, will you look at that. We just harvested a bunch of spindly grub fruit. They are gonna go bad, but it's just another food source that is gonna prevent us from actually using up the muck root. Let's have a quick glance at myself. Skill points are already quite high. Excavation 14, but remember that is with the alone +4 skill. But yeah, we're getting there. Of course, I can already feel the drag. It is taking more and more time to level up the skills. But I have to say, I'm already much faster than in the beginning, as you can see. And yes, you see right, I had to move the wall one more block over. I'm just glad Steve couldn't witness this disaster. Before I forget, we also got access to the textile loom. I'm gonna place that here, so we still have the space for an exosuit forge. Let's also give this some power. I have approximately 400 watts hooked up to this power cable that is potentially used at the same time. So as long as I don't exceed 600 watts with any of my machinery, we should be golden. Together with the exosuits, this could become a little more problematic, and we might have to upgrade to the next tier of wires. This is gonna level up my construction skill all the way to level 4. Yes, we are getting there. And another research completed. Thank you very much. Let's have a look at that. Stations, atmosuit dock, and checkpoint. We want the checkpoint first. That goes right there. And then we want 2 atmosuit docks. And the reason we want 2 docks is because one atmosuit could be broken and then we can use the other dock. To go up for now, we're still gonna use the normal oxygen mask since temperatures are not immediately gonna be an issue. And there is our breakthrough. Let's hope the water is not gonna accumulate. No, actually it can hold up. Yeah, looks like we have enough pressure going on, and the water on top of the polluted water does help. But now we have polluted water available, which means we will be able to irrigate this plant much more often, resulting in more reed fiber. Now, sometimes I do get a little bit of polluted oxygen in this pump, so I think we should address that. And the way I'm gonna do this is by excavating some more by coming up here. And I will be moving my pump approximately here. This way the polluted oxygen from compost will not be able to reach it. This is just so much better when I can actually watch the commands executed that I'm giving. Otherwise I'm just jumping all over the place and then the dupes do it behind my back. So this is a totally new experience to actually enjoy this. I mean, sure, right now it might be a tiny bit tedious, but the longer we play and the stronger Nathan gets, the more fun this is gonna be. But I felt like I didn't want to cheat in a 100 stat man right off the beginning. When I don't earn what I'm doing, it doesn't feel satisfying. Taking apart the old pump and the new one can take over. And here come my exosuits. Now they will require 120 watts each, but only one of them is going to be active at a time. However, if I do things like sweeping up materials very nearby and I'm going back and forth, it could occur that we actually use both docks powered at the same time. So I think what I'm going to do is dive back into research. We want the coal generator, which we can find right here, and we also want the smart battery. So those are the two next things we're gonna unlock. And in order to make the smart battery functional, I will also unlock the automation wires right there. So just give me a minute or two to accomplish that. I might do some building in the meantime as well. But I'm gonna catch you in a second when we're ready to set up the power system with the research we just selected. Wonderful, we're done with all the research here and I decided on how I actually want to do it. All the machines that I'm working on, I'm gonna run through my manual generator. So at the moment I still have this battery hooked up to the research stations and the rock crusher. However, everything else, including the deodorizers, the pump up here, the oxygen diffuser, and just everything that I'm not personally using but that could enable itself anytime, I have on a separate wire. So if I cut this only connection the two wires currently had, we can see the potential load is 635 watts, which is something we can definitely take, including 2 more Atmosuit docks for the upper portion eventually. So I figured we get started with our coal generators here, and I want to have 2 of them. In the middle I'm gonna have a storage bin that I'm gonna fill up manually, but eventually I want a automatic system. We're also gonna hook this up to our power cable. Finally, we need a smart battery to steer everything. This also needs to be hooked up to the power system, but then we need the automation wire that I unlocked here in order to hook these up and only enable them according to the battery setting. Finally, I would like to have an exosuit and a power control station. Both of them require more refined ore. So let's go ahead and do some more copper here. I'm gonna do about 10 crafts. The reason I want this in a room is so that the power station can be used by me in order to improve the coal generators and give them plus 50% more efficiency. Here I am, eagerly refining the ore. We actually have enough to already set up the power station. I'm gonna do that right now. It doesn't actually require 4 spaces, but it just looks a little bit better. And if I'm not mistaken, this is simply gonna take some refined metal in order to boost the generator's output by 50%. No, wait, that's not really what I wanted to see. We need to prioritize the automation wire here, so it gets shut off again. There we go. That makes much more sense. I'm already gonna bump this up to 100% because that's what we actually need when we finally have the auto sweeper. As for the battery, we want the high threshold to be 95% and the low threshold to be about 60%. So at 60% the coal generators are gonna kick in and at 95% they're gonna stop. Lovely start. It is already cycle 101. I truly could have done with more duplicants, however Nathan is leveling up like no other because he has to do everything himself. Just one more craft right here and we can build the exosuit forge, and I'm gonna build that right next to it. I'm also tracking the refined copper, just crafting a little bit extra, and then here in the power control station we can set this up to be using copper. Now we will be needing the electrical engineering skill, which I think we can do. No, actually it will take 1 more skill point, and as of that point we have to be a little bit careful. We need to improve our morale otherwise. But I guess we could dive into improved tinkering and then electrical engineering, the next skill point. And right here, of course, I want to store my coal products in the storage bin. And now you can also see the coal generator is stopping. Actually, let me check something. How far is automation away? Just one research away. So there's no reason not to build an auto sweeper. We need that. Let's do that to wrap up the episode. So we have a nicely tight system, and I only really have to come in here to improve the generators. The coal will be delivered automatically, and I don't have to worry about that. To make some Atmo suits, we need at least 300 kilograms of refined copper. So let's also take care of that. I'm gonna queue up even more crafts just to do that. Nice, another attribute point in machinery. We are currently +8. All thanks to the manual generator here and git preparation. We got enough to craft at least one, but I'm already gonna queue up 2 of them. And another thing we can do is deliver those suits right away. Of course, we shouldn't forget to expand the oxygen pipe. That is something we could actually already take advantage of. A historic moment. Our first exosuit in the making. And now the oxygen can also flow in. There's some polluted oxygen. How's this happening? I guess that was from before. Yeah, we'll get some initial damage. Why is this floating around? I think after we pick this one up, we shouldn't get any more. I might want to close this off. Yeah, let's do that. Oh yeah, this battery helps us so much. However, I don't think we actually have enough coal to keep this up for a long time. Yeah, we can still dig up some patches of it, but we'll soon have to look out for alternatives. Wonderful, my first Atmo suit is fully loaded up and docked, which means we do not need the oxygen thingamabob anymore, at least in this place. And I also want to set up a bottle emptier in order to be able to fill up the liquid lock that we're gonna generate right there. We already get access to pipsqueaks. That might be useful since we do not want anything too labor intensive. It might be that we use the pips in order to do our farms, etc. Oh, there's actually my second Atmo suit as well. I totally missed that. Let's make sure we enable this building, and then it's all about the last step, which is automating the feeding of the coal generators. We're gonna use the bottle emptier to get some water in this liquid lock, and we're not gonna be bothered by it because we are in the Atmo suit. We can probably sweep up the oxygen mask here. I'm not sure we're ever gonna need it again. We might actually in certain circumstances, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Voila, research is completed and we have access to the auto sweeper. How wonderful. We just need a bunch more refined metals, who would have thought. There it is, auto sweeper. Let's put it right here, maybe turn around. And of course we need the mechatronics engineering skill for that. So we already know we're gonna climb up the ladder here, and it looks as though we can take it in terms of morale need because it's one of our liked skills. But it will take a few cycles to actually gain those 2 skills. Wonderful, with that cycle out of the way, we now have access to an automated power system that is upgradable. We have exosuits for the dangerous area down in the cellar, and I would say we're ready for the next step in the next episode. With that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.